Hey, it's Abby J here, and today let's talk about how do you stay focused, how do you stay productive while working at home. I don't know about you, but my life has been severely changed. My routines are not the same as they were just last month before this whole COVID-19 craziness. And so I've been really working and using these tips that I'm going to share with you today to stay productive, to stay focused at home, because it's so easy to fall out of your amazing habits. It's so easy to get distracted. I'm gonna give you some real life tips on how to stay productive and focused while you are working at home and to get you through this time of uncertainty. How do you stay productive and how do you stay focused when you are working at home? If your life is anything like mine right now, I am home nearly 24/7 and I am working from home. I am living at home. I have to take care of my baby. I have to take care of work, and it can be a lot. And our brains want to say, oh, let's watch Netflix. Oh, let's do this instead. Or you have all the time in the world to do this work. You know, you can do it later. So let's get real. Let's talk about how to stay productive and focused even though you're working at home. These tips have been a lifesaver for me in my career, and I know that they are going to help you out drastically during this kind of uncertain and super weird time being at home. So what's the first thing that you need to do when you are working at home and you're trying to stay productive and focused? The first thing to do is every single day identify 3 priorities that you want to the very most accomplish that day. Let's talk about this. Why 3? Because as a new mama, as a working employee, as a part-time YouTuber, there are so many things that I want to accomplish in the day that 3 feels very small, for lack of a better word, and it feels very oh, I gotta do so much more than 3 things. So here's the struggle with that. I am a firm believer that we truly can't get more than 6 priorities in a day. And in this heightened time of stress and overwhelm, and maybe your work is actually picked up instead of slowed down, or maybe you're like me and trying to balance, full-time childcare with full-time work, 3 is a really good number of I can commit to getting these 3 things done today, and it forces you to pick your top priorities. So practice this every day. Literally, as you plan out your day, put down the 3 things that you must accomplish before your head hits the pillow tonight for you to feel like today was successful and productive. Identify those, write them down. The next thing that we're going to do is time block your schedule. So what is this? This is where you literally time block every single hour of your working day. I'll throw that in there because while we're at home, you might think that you need to time block 24 hours. And maybe for you, you do. I have found that for me, at least the time that I'm trying to be focused and productive is my work time. And so I time block my work and say, I'm going to work for these 6 hours, these 8 hours, and this is what I'm going to accomplish during that time. It's really tempting to just write a to-do list of what you would like to accomplish. Instead, this is one step further, and we're gonna say, okay, from 8 to 9, I am going to go through my emails. And from 9 to 10, I'm going to research video topics. On 10 to 11, that's when I've got to take care of my little boy, and that's when he usually wants to eat and take a nap, right? Why does this matter? When we time block our schedule, it actually forces us to think through, one, when we're actually going to accomplish those 3 priorities that we identified in step 1, but 2, how much time we actually have to do those things. So often we misjudge how much time we've got to put into our schedule for taking care of our babies, or for catching up on the assignment that we were supposed to do yesterday, or for eating lunch, just basic things like that. We kind of glaze over those things, and then by the end of the day, we're overwhelmed and surprised that we didn't get anything done. When you time block your schedule, you say, hey, I only have this hour to accomplish this task, so I'm going to go for it. So we've identified our priorities. Second step, we're going to time block our schedule and make sure that those priorities fit in and put them into a time block. From 1 to 3, I'm going to work on priority number 2, right? Okay, with your schedule and priorities set, you are now ready for tip 3, which is to practice focus sprints. What is a focus sprint? A focus sprint is when you turn off your distractions, you sit down, you set a timer, and you focus on one thing for up to 90 minutes. Now, let's break this apart a little bit because I bet focus sprints are new to a lot of you. So why, 50 minutes? 50 minutes because typically you plan focus sprints in an hour. And it's nice to think that you could focus without distraction for an hour, and maybe you can, but a lot of us need to know that there is a break, there's a pause, there's a snack at the end of this hard hitting, I'm working so hard either mentally or physically. So plan to have 50 minutes of just focused, undistracted time that you can mentally just put towards this task. Then at the end of that, you're gonna take a break, you're gonna put away your computer or whatever you are working on. You can have a snack, you can drink some water, you can walk around your house for a little bit, but you need to mentally give yourself a break. It's naive to think that maybe we could have a focus sprint for 3 hours. Now, all of us have done that. All of us have sat down and really crushed it for 3 hours, but we're so mentally exhausted. So for you to continually practice healthy focus sprints, you need to give yourself breaks, plan for it, and let yourself know that this isn't how we're gonna be all day. We're not gonna be so driven and focused the whole day. We're gonna work really hard, then we're gonna take a break. Then we're gonna work really hard, and we're gonna take a break. Focus sprints actually have been a huge tool that I've used in increasing my productivity and focus. So try it out. Make sure that you put your phone on nighttime or airplane mode. That's a huge part of this. Also, if you're working on your computer and stuff, don't check emails during this time. You are solely focused on one task and that task alone. And even if somebody Teamses you or IMs you, you've got to just turn that off and you're gonna look at that later. That is the discipline that comes with a focus sprint. My fourth tip for you in planning your schedule, planning your priorities, practicing focus sprints. I mean, we got so much going on, but this one should kind of be the overarching principle that you do the hardest thing first. I don't know about you, but when I set out my day, there is one thing that's kind of looming. There's one thing that I'm I just gotta get that done. My challenge for you is to get it done first. Whether that's as simple as, hey, I really can't focus or feel I don't have something looming over my shoulder if I don't get my workout done. So get your workout done first thing or as soon as you possibly can so that that thing that you're kind of dreading or you're kind of dragging your feet on is done. Same is about maybe the hardest subject for you in school or an email that you don't want to send. Put that first because we want to get that out of the way because it's just going to grease the skids. Is that a real saying? Just going to grease the path for you to continue to focus because now you're not mentally having these roadblocks of, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, that sounds really hard. We do it, we get the hard thing done, and then boom, nothing else is gonna stop us in our day. My last tip for you, tip number 5, is to learn your productivity patterns. All of us are on different schedules, and I'm always shocked and surprised when I hear my family members or friends talk about how productive they are at night. And I'm just what? How is that possible? I'm such a morning person that truly come 7 o'clock at night, I am winding down, I'm getting really tired. That's not when my best and creative thinking happens. For me, honestly, it can happen at 6 a.m. It can happen at 7 a.m. because I've worked out, my brain is going, I have time to be alone and think about those things. So, no, neither way is right or wrong. Honestly, you have to find what works for you, and maybe your most creative and productive time happens at night when nobody else is emailing you or teachers aren't posting assignments or all your babies are in bed. Use what works for you. Learn your productivity schedules and give yourself permission to follow those schedules. Okay, that was a lot of advice, a lot of tips I threw at you, but I hope that those 5 tips help you out with increasing your productivity and focus while you're working at home. Because the struggle is real. And a lot of us didn't ask for this. A lot of us didn't sign up for this. I have a lot of respect. Some college professors are really being really lenient on their tests and assignments because their students didn't sign up for online courses, right? And maybe online courses, maybe working on online and remotely from home isn't what you signed up for. It's not your thing. It's not where you thrive. I hope that you'll try these tips. I hope that you will see how drastically you can improve your productivity and focus just by tweaking a couple things in your schedule. So test these tips out. Let me know if they work out for you. Please give this a thumbs up and like my video. Please subscribe if you want more tips on how to crush it in personal development and how to, make it through this really difficult and hard time of COVID-19. And remember, we're all in this together. I'm sending you so much love, and I hope that you stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in my next video. So, Abby J out.